One of the major design elements of the Minnesota Senate building is the exterior walls, featuring a combination of natural stone and concrete. Installing these elements onto the building begins the final push toward completion. Natural limestone decorates the building's south wall and wraps around to cover portions of the east and west exterior.
The stone is quarried in Kasota, which is near Mankato. It's cut into pieces that will actually be embedded into the precast. Those pieces are shipped loose to gauge precast, who then sets the panels or the pieces of stone in the face of the form. They'll then set the anchors into the stone at that time. After that, they'll set a plastic sheet, which provides a thermal break between the two dissimilar materials, so it provides that movement and the ability for the two materials to move independent of each other. After that, they'll actually pour the concrete into the form, filling up that remaining void and embedding the stone into the precast.
Once the desired color of the limestone is determined, architects relay the information to the stone company, which will then begin a 6-week process of blasting, cutting, and drilling to remove the stone from the quarry.
This formation is about 50 feet deep, and we take out 7 feet, and it's pretty much right in the middle of that. So we have a 2-foot layer and a 5-foot layer in the middle of that 50-foot formation. So if you look at this, we have to blast off the top 18 feet. So we blast that off, remove that. We get down to our first layer that's 2 foot thick. And then we saw that with a machine that has an 8-foot diameter wheel with carbide tips on it. We saw a 10-foot by 4-foot block of that. We saw the whole quarry up and then remove that block. And then we get down to the main ledge, which is these blocks that you see here, and that's about a 5-foot high ledge. A normal block is either 10 foot long or 8 foot long, 4 foot 6 wide, and a normal height of about 5 feet. So that makes about a 20-ton block. We remove the block from the quarry with the front end loader. We store them in this area here, and then when the plant needs a block, we bring the blocks up one at a time.
Removing the stone from the quarry is the first step that eventually leads to the installation of the stone onto the face of the building. Inside of the plant, a giant saw slices through the massive block at the beginning of the assembly line process.
It's 11.5-foot diameter diamond blade, and it steps down 2 inches and saws one way and then steps down and cuts the other way. It makes no difference to the diamond blade which direction it's going. Once it's cut and the saw is finished with it, a big lift is picked up with the crane. The slabs are vertical in the slings. This is taken up to the machine, set on a frame, and unhooked from the crane. Then the machine itself, part of the conveyor, tips up, comes over, picks the slab up, lays it down, carries it over, and runs it into the conveyor that will run it into the grinding machine that puts a honed finish on it. Every job has a specified finish. About 90% of exterior work, the finish is honed. That's getting it very smooth without any kind of a sheen. And that's the most popular for exterior work. Every piece is cut for a specific place on the job. We make shop drawings. The pieces are numbered. Each piece has its own isometric drawing, shows exactly what has to be done, the exact size, and any anchoring or incidental cutting that has to be done. So anybody can pick that up at any point through the process and can tell exactly what has to be done yet.
After the assembly line process is complete, the stone is then stacked, ready to be sent to another plant where it will be embedded in precast concrete panels. From there, the panels are shipped by truck to the job site, where they are prepped and readied for installation onto the building. Colored concrete panels, referred to as architectural precast, complete the building's outer shell.
They are fabricated at the same plant, shipped to the site from gauge precast, and installed in the exact same way. Same connections, same everything. The only difference is that the stone clad is a little bit thicker and the colored concrete is a little thinner, only because you don't get enough structural support out of the stone clad precast.
2 cranes work in tandem to lift the panels from the truck. Then one crane is released and the other slowly transfers the panel to the building.
You'll be able to pull the panel vertically up into the air. The two cranes will kind of counteract each other, and then the tower crane will continue to move upwards as the trip crane will stay in the same position. And that is what basically rotates the stone or the precast into position so that it can be then attached to the building. Amarect, who's been doing the installation of the precast on site, is making sure that all the reveals line up within, whether it's stone-clad precast or architectural precast, all the vertical and horizontal joints have to align. So they're looking to make sure that not only is the panel level and plumb, they're making sure that those reveals from panel to panel actually align as well. So as soon as they've done their final adjustments onto the piece, they will actually have the piece welded into place. So the foreman will get the authorization to then weld the structure of the panel to the structure of the building, which is the actual permanent place that the stone will be in.
All precast panels are dead loaded down to the foundation, meaning that they are stacked on top of each other. They are then connected back to the structure to steady the building against the wind.
They will stack the precast on top of either the foundation or the panel, depending on where it is in the building, and then those tie-back anchors will be welded into the final place as soon as the piece has been set where it needs to be set. We have not only stone on the exterior that's cast into the concrete, we have stone on the interior as well, which is a hand-set stone. It is the exact same stone from the same manufacturer, it's the same quarry in Mankato. It's brought out here on site. The only difference is that it's placed on a wall instead of cast into the concrete, so it's the exact same product.
While the finishing touches are put on the interior stone wall, other work both inside and out continues. But completion of the exterior walls may be a signal that the building process is nearing an end.